And now it's time to go the distance. That's right, Kevin Costner, the star of the iconic Field of Dreams, here with us on set, and the 10th Commissioner of Major League Baseball, Mr. Rob Manfred, joining us right now on Intentional Talk. Great to see you both. Rob, this is amazing. A couple years here in the making. Honestly, this must take your breath away.
It's phenomenal. We actually came here to look at the site the first time in 2015. Actually, John Smoltz and Harold Reynolds flew out with a couple of my guys, and you know, it looked like a big project, and it took us a little longer than we expected, but it's fantastic now that it's done.
It's better than you can ever imagine. And now, your vision when you were thinking about doing this, did you ever think it was going to be this big, the movie, and did you ever think there'd be a real Major League Baseball game played here 25 years later?
Listen, I have this one opportunity. You guys see the movie when it comes out. I have this opportunity when I'm by myself and I read a script for the first time. No one's around me. And I remember finishing it thinking, you know, it wasn't an action movie. There wasn't a fist fight. There wasn't anything. But that felt like there was gold dust all over it. And I thought, you know, if we can hold the line of this movie that could tip into being goofy and just hold the line in and understand the passion and what this game means, even to the players who curse it all the time, but they won't let anybody else curse.
That's right. That's exactly.
You know what I mean? And so what happens is I felt that this had a chance to be something really great. You never can predict runaway thing. You can't predict this kind of whole vocabulary that's even around this thing. I mean, you don't predict this kind of thing. You don't even try to dream about it. But when you see it, you just kind of appreciate it and take part. And you know, it was. I do remember saying to the owner, I don't know that I would corn this over. I remember having that conversation with him, because sometimes on movies, when they mean something to me, I'll keep the car, like I kept the Shelby Cobra on Bull Durham.
Yeah, that I'm buying from you after the show. That was a great thing. So that's breaking news, guys.
But there's times when you think there's something special, but no one sees this coming.
Yeah.
And Rob, what was it like for you? You did the corn walk, I understand, today?
I did the corn walk. You know, you kind of get that feeling when you walk out of the corn. It brings back the memories of the movie.
Oh.
And, you know.
Here's the commissioner.
Yes. Yes. They're clean, though.
Tingling.
That's not, like, there's no bugs. It's clean. That's the thing.
No, it's a phenomenal feeling. I'll tell you, the thing that surprised me when we came the first time, the house was better than what I expected. The field, I knew it was going to be great and everything in the corner, but I thought the house was really neat. And whoever won the auction for that house, I bet had a good night last night. I hope they did anyways.
It is amazing. Now I want to take you back to 1988. By the way, my math is bad. It's at 89. It's like over 30 years, not 25.
You and I are public school guys, probably.
LA City Junior College, Vermont and
so
Melrose.
Our math is always going to be a little off.
We're just a little tick off. We were at the beach boogie boarding. But that being said, 1988, you go back to Fenway Park, my old stomping grounds, to check out a game there, okay? You had two future stars in the stands there. They were extras, I believe, and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And Ben and I became friends because he's a big Red Sox fan, so I helped kind of get he and J-Lo back, because he kind of gets us back. We have a picture here, and this is back in the day.
You're playing matchmaker now.
Well, I'm the matchmaker, and then this is our picture right here. There they are. That was back 2003 and 4, back in the day. But when you were at that game, did you know that you had two future stars there, and Damon and Affleck?
No, I mean, you know, that's trying to make your way in this life is an individual pursuit. I mean, how many guys are trying to make it to the major leagues and aren't going to make it? How many guys are trying to make it Hollywood and aren't going to make it? You don't know. What you try to do is be kind to the people you meet along the way. Once in a while, there's a little bit of advice, and other times you just understand how hard or maybe lucky. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm. The ending of the film, Kevin, really elevates it to a new level. And I read that your quote, you said, I was involved. It was bigger than the movie at that time. When you say, hey, Dad, you want to have a catch?
You were involved in what?
Your quote was, I was involved. It was bigger than the moment at that time.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't know. You go. I never go into a scene not knowing what I'm going to do. I have an idea of what I want to do. I mean, God, I hope so. You know, and but sometimes you look at something and there's air just blown into it. It was a bigger moment. It was, okay, like I said earlier, there's no fist fight. There's no anything. It's like the line is going to be, do you want to have a catch? And it overtook me. Mm-hmm. And I also knew that I couldn't let him know that we were connected. And so it was a how I handled that moment, I don't know. You know, it's like probably a lot of guys handle it differently, but it was bigger than what I thought.
You feel that because you're a fan. We're a fan of sports and all sports and obviously baseball, but it brings back like a father-son, you know, playing catch in the backyard, Rob.
There's a huge father-son, at least for me, element to the movie that really drives the film. And I think, you know, one of the things with the people here, I think the film still evokes a certain sentimental attachment that people feel really deeply, and that's why they're all showing up here tonight.
You know, it has that, but it also has that thing about the things that fathers and sons just can't say to each other.
Right.
And they take too long, and it never gets said. And the movie, for its lightness and for its breeziness, deals with that
Those are
moment.
goosebumps, by the way, what you're doing right. Those are goosebumps.
Those are things that just get unsaid between the people we love. And if you could go back, if you weren't stubborn, and then make no mistake, that movie is built around that moment for me. The things that go unsaid.
Yeah, no question. He doesn't say to his dad, "I'm sorry what I said to you. I love you, Dad." It's just he's used as a baseball term, and that kind of bridges the gap. As Rob was mentioning, the house in there is incredible. I looked up, Kevin, and they have the whole speech from James Earl Jones, the People Will Come speech. And I love, you said it's kind of like Spencer Tracy in Inherit the Wind.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit how great that speech
Well, you know, occasionally you get those things. I had a JFK speech, you know, where you go and all of a sudden you stare at James Earl Jones and you have this voice from we had so many things went right, and when this movie's concerned, so much of it somehow gets focused to me, and I think to myself, you know, the real star of this movie was Phil Alden Robinson, kind of a non-athlete, really, who had the good sense to understand the beauty of this book. He could figure out how to bring it to the screen. He directed it. He made the choices about the music that puts the hair on. Those were Phil's choices. I think of Chuck Gordon and Larry Gordon, guys who were producing really big movies, who were asked to do this movie for $10, you know, a movie out in the corn, and they turned their entire attention. They were here every day with me. Chuck is now gone, a friend. He didn't get to see this, but you know, the guy who filmed it, this movie came together in a perfect little way because it had to. That's the only thing it had going for us, was just the choices.
You mentioned Phil Alden Robinson, also Burt Lancaster. I mean, this guy, Sweet Smell of Success, Atlantic City.
My God.
He's a great actor, Kevin. I didn't realize it as a kid. As an adult, I go, this guy played some great movies. I feel like in some ways, all the respect, he steals the movie. Moonlight Gravy's amazing.
No, Burt Lancaster and I sat with him, and we sat, and I remember he said to me, "Oh boy, the studios were scared of me." And I said, "Tell me, Brady," because I'll tell you. And I said to him, you know, there's a scene in the Kentucky, and he goes, "You saw that?" I said, "Yeah, I did, actually." And he goes, "You saw what I did?" And I said, "Yeah, I did. Let me tell you what I did." So I mean, he was. I mean, when he was a guy, handsome guy.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Rob, what's it like? Just, again, we're giving so much love to everybody, to collaborative effort for Major League Baseball to build this. I mean, Murray's done an amazing job. Give some love to the crew.
I'll tell you something. Murray Cook is a magician. If you give him a big enough hunk of money, he'll build you a great baseball field anywhere. You just got to figure out how to make the money back. You know, he did a great job here. You know, this is, you know, how difficult the things that we went through to get it figured out. You know, when we first came here, we actually were thinking, you know, we'll build some stands and we'll play on the field. And then we realized right field was about a 20-degree angle up, right?
No, there's a lot. There's a backyard.
Yeah. So,
you know, I had a story too. I have a really good friend that I do business with. He's an architect, a really great architect. And when they announced the game, he said, "Hey, are you going to the Field of Dreams?" I said, "Well, the phone hasn't rung yet, but I got a feeling probably it might." And he goes, "You know, I built that. I couldn't tell you for 2 years." And I thought to myself, how good a friend is he?
I don't know if that's a great friend.
I mean, you really believe in that non-disclosure thing? We had a little talk, but he's the guy that built that stadium, designed it, the architect, John Shreve.
And you know, they thought, I mean, if you think about the way that the fans are going to flow in over there, our people got so enchanted with the project that they thought about every little thing, like where the phones are in the dugout.
Yes.
They made boxes that look like the period pieces. Where the Gatorade store looks like something that comes from the
like
fencing, the scoreboard. 3 lucky high school students are going to run that scoreboard tonight, so it's great.
And that's what we're all looking for in life, right? Is when we kind of want people to over-deliver for us because we're so used to
Yes.
under things, and
Yes.
all of a sudden the field that surprises you. As a player, it's like, what? Ooh, you probably feel like I would give my IT to play the first game out here.
Yeah.
And to put the first knock out there.
Yeah, it's the truth. And the first home run and the first just everything because you feel that.
And if you don't have that, you kind of go, I'm not sure about you.
right. You don't love the game.
You just must be a great player without any.
That's right.
Passion.
It's iconic and unforgettable, and Field of Dreams lives on so many years. Our big thanks to superstar Kevin Costner and the Commissioner Rob Manfred Jr. Thank you so much, guys.